You would think meeting someone while going to the bathroom would be a bad start to a friendship. But frankly, you would be surprised where friendships can truly be born. Because the one that Robert and Roid begin is truly peak friendship. And yeah, it's going to be a while before I stop yapping about Dispatch. So if you guys enjoy it, I hope you guys do. Watch the videos, check it out. If you don't enjoy it, hey, skip the video, that's completely fine, but I absolutely love Dispatch, and there's a lot of things I want to talk about in terms of Dispatch as well, and Roid, 100%, is a part of that giant list of ideas that I have, because Roid is one hell of a friend, and an awesome dude in general in Dispatch. Not only is Roid a hilarious character, but he's also one that you can tell will always have your back, and frankly, he proves it throughout the entirety of the story of Dispatch. Like I said, it all starts in a bathroom, right? In the SDN building bathroom, and y'all are just vibing. Y'all are, taking a pee or taking a whatever you want to call it, and he introduces himself, and he wants to give you a fist bump, and if you don't give him that fist bump, I don't know if I can trust you as a person. I don't know if I can truly think that you're okay in the head if you didn't give that big man a fist bump. And you might be like, well, that's kind of gross, man. Like, you're in the bathroom, yada, yada, yada. But he says it himself. I mean, he doesn't even touch his thing, he just shakes his pants. That's all he does. He shakes his all pants. That's all he touches is his pants. So you better give him that fist bump. And I mean, he seems like a cool dude in general. So it feels like you have to give him that fist bump. And he's the one who's, guess what, going to make Robert Mega Man again. And that's a crazy awesome line that you end up hearing, talking about how I'm gonna make the man Mecha again. And obviously he tells Robert, like, oh, I know, like, it's nice to meet you, Mecha Man. And he's like, well, how do you know? And blah, blah, blah. And Royd's like, don't worry. Like, I won't tell anybody. It's a need to know basis. And Roid, well, he needs to know. So that's why he knows in the first place. And they have a little bit of a conversation, but you can tell that Roid is going to be very, very important, at least to an extent, in this story. And they do bring up the idea of, like, getting his suit, and Roid is going to be a big component of bringing that suit over to SDN. And let's just say right now, Robert has no clue how much more Roid is going to do than just be the muscle. Because he's not just muscle. He's also a freaking nerd. And a nerd that is muscular and super just swole and like a bro figure. Oh my, dude, that is peak. That is a peak friend. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I saw Roid in real life and I knew him in real life, I would want to be his best friend. I'd be like, me and you, Roid, hey, I got your back, bro. Thick and thin, whatever you got to do. Whatever happens, I got your freaking back. Because a nerd that is also just swole and considerate and just a good dude in general, those are the best type of people. I'm going to be honest. I have a lot of friends that are, to an extent, pretty damn nerdy. It doesn't matter what type of nerd we're talking about. If that's smarts, if that's, like super into like anime or superheroes or comics and stuff like that. Everybody has their little thing that they are nerdy about. And as long as you have that little thing, you are a nerd in my book. And it's always good to be a nerd, because if you're a nerd and you're obsessive about one thing, you're super passionate about one thing or multiple things, whatever you want to say, that right there is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have in a person or a character. And Roid has that. He is a nerd, he is an engineer, and he is muscle. And that right there is pretty damn cool. And when you see the conversations that him and Robert have, you really are like, damn, this guy is really, really awesome. Because you even see how he got, or he's basically told, or Robert's told, that he got busted, or that Roid got busted by Robert's father, the Mecha Man before Robert. And when he starts hearing about this, he's like, damn, really? Like, you talked to my dad for that long? And he basically tells Roid, like, I've never talked to my dad that long. Like, I've never had a conversation with my father that long, which Royd's like, well, I'm gonna be honest, brother, like, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to you, but at the end of the day, he basically tells him, like, your father, he was a okay person. He was good, right? To an extent. Obviously, Roid only knows him from a very small lens, but he knows that he is. He knows that he's a good person. He talked to Roid for an hour or so about just engineering and about this and about that, before even taking him in as basically a villain, right? Because he did something wrong. And Roid really respects that. And that's why he has so much respect for Robert as well. And he just has so much respect for him in general, too. And that right there, it's like, it felt like from the very beginning that Roid was destined to be like the best friend for Mecha Man and destined to be like best buddies with him in general. And they just have some of the most hilarious moments. Like, don't get me wrong, both Robert and Chase have the funniest moments like in the series or in like, obviously the season. But honestly, Roid and Robert, they're up there as well. Their moments are hilarious. From the beginning where, you get the whole bathroom scene is so freaking funny. And then you also get the whole HR violation stuff with Invisigal and Robert. Those moments are hilarious where Roid is just in the background trying to get his work done. And Invisigal is talking about, how many times do you beat your, in the freaking, in the suit. And there's a lot of moments you can talk about. You can say a lot. You can say, what's your business? You can say like never, stuff like that. But Roid is listening to all of it and he's like, dude, what are we talking about? What is going on? Like, what are you all talking about at all? And Invisigal, even there's one where she basically references that the keys are sticky. And Roid's like, ew, bro, that's nasty. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all are weird. And of course, Robert's like, he shuts it down. He's like, nah, it's not true, Roid. Don't worry. She's just doing her weird freaking thing that she does with making people uncomfortable. And they get onto a bit of a stare off. And Roid is like, all right, I don't know what y'all are doing, but can y'all take this HR violation somewhere else? Because I got work to do. Like, I got things to do. And that right there, I was like, hearing Roid say these things and in these moments, oh my goodness, it just makes me, even talking about them, it makes me like belly laugh thinking about the moments that Roid has with Robert, with other characters and all the above. And after all the kind of testing of the Mecha Man suit, they have some very interesting moments like that throughout the entire period. But the one that definitely hits the hardest is when the suit ends up exploding. When the suit explodes and basically puts Robert in the hospital. And it's a sad moment. It's a moment where it feels like, damn, we failed. We messed up. And even before that, before it exploded, I mean, Roid is trying his best to save his buddy Robert. I mean, if you don't tell Team Z who you are, he breaks down the door himself. He basically tries to get you out of the suit. Obviously, it doesn't work. And the other one, he still tries his best to save you using the portal from Malevola. And he's still like doing everything he can to try to save Robert, to protect Robert. And that right there, if that's not a bro, I don't know what is, right? A bro's going to keep it real. A bro's going to tell you how it is. And a bro is also going to protect you as much as humanly possible as he possibly can. Yeah, will he always be able to protect you? Will he always be able to stand in front of you and take the bullets and take the beating? No, he won't. But that's friendship. Friendship is he's going to give it his absolute best, and Roid, he does just that. He tries to save Robert. He tries to get Robert back in that mech suit. So when he fails, when things shut down and it blows up and sends Robert to the hospital, I mean, all he's thinking about is how he couldn't do it. He couldn't make the man mecha once again. And it really shows you, like, during the interactions with Roid, Robert, Chase, and them in the hospital, you can see how much Roid cares. You can see that he is broken, like he is hurt by all of this and hurt what happened. And funny enough, I actually played this scene when you couldn't get the fist bump back from Roid, because that is a moment you can actually get the fist bump back from him. Initially, I was thinking, damn, Roid doesn't fist bump you back? Like I'm sorry, Roid, like that is crazy. Like that hurts on a different level. But I heard that it was just a glitch. That sometimes he is supposed to fist bump you back. I guess it has something to do with you actually basically fist bumping him in the beginning and stuff like that. But I guess there was a bug, so nobody was getting that scene. At least that's what I heard. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the fact that you get the moment where he doesn't fist bump you, if you get that moment, it hurts. I'm like, damn, are you serious? Like, I'm sorry, Roid, but at the end of the day, you did your absolute best. You did everything you possibly could. And maybe in his eyes, he felt like this is what made him useful. This is what made him him. And he couldn't do it. And he failed. His one mission. Everybody else has their missions. Everybody else is doing their best. And he failed. He failed Robert. He failed Mecha Man. And that really hurts him. That really hits him to a different degree. And it really does hurt if he doesn't fist bump you. But it even hurts if he does. Because he's still sad. He's still, like, questioning himself. He's still thinking that I failed. That I failed him. I failed me. I failed everybody. I failed every single person. And I believe even he says that. Like, he's like, I failed. I failed you guys. And that right there, I'm like, damn, that got me choked up. Like, that's so sad. Because this is how genuine this dude is. This is how genuine Roid is. Roid is an awesome dude that puts his life on the line and puts his heart and soul into his work. His heart and soul into every aspect of his work. So the fact that he failed and he had Robert in the hospital, I mean, he knows. He's like, I failed, Robert. Like, I failed you. Like, I can't make you Mecha again. But the thing is, he cares so much and he wants to hold on to his word so badly that it ends up leading him and the others of Team Z to actually finding out something. Finding out, like, other ways to find this, the actual original so-called Astral Pulse. And this Astral Pulse, right, that they're trying to find, they obviously are, like, debating, okay, what do we do? Do we send a team out there to go get it now? This and that. And I'll bring this up a bunch of times over and over again. They should have sent Team Z out there. Team Z is broken, is busted. Now, is there a guarantee that Shroud wouldn't have had more things set up on the off chance that multiple people would have came? I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, Shroud was able to predict that only one person was going to come, aka only Invisigal was going to come over towards that location and try to get the Astral Pulse for herself. But obviously, that, we all know how that goes, right? And I don't want to rehash the past of what happens during those scenes. But we get that whole moment, right, with the Astral Pulse and stuff like that. And eventually, we kind of get more progression throughout the story in terms of, dispatching Team Z, stuff like that. And you don't really see much of Roid here. Roid does actually help out with dispatching heroes, which I'm like, that's pretty cool, right? Shout out to Roid. Like, Roid's like a jack of all trades, and I can't even say he's a master of none, because he really is a jack of all trades, but master of so many, because he's so good at so many different things, right? And dispatching, I mean, obviously he was pretty good at it because they didn't just, straight up fail. He did something, right? In terms of, being a nerd, building, all that stuff, he's a master of all that. And on top of that, shoot, we even see him fighting and start throwing hands, and damn, hey, that boy can throw freaking hands. But before we can talk about that, I want to talk about him actually catching Vizzy going to basically, quote-unquote, steal his suit. Obviously, we know that was not Invisigal's intention necessarily, but Roid caught her and was like, I'm sorry, Robert. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, she tricked us. She tricked me. She tricked you. She tricked all of us, right? Like, she's bad. She's bad. She's this. She's that. And Roid is saying this with such genuine emotion. He's like, I don't want to look at her this way. I want to look at her like she's a hero. Like she's one of us. Like she's somebody that we care for and care about. But to him, he feels betrayed. And frankly, in his mind, he doesn't want to fail Robert again. He doesn't want to fail him again. Because he feels like if he lets Vizzy do whatever, it might just lead to another situation where, you get another betrayal. And then guess what? He failed Robert all over again by not making sure that she was captured and that she couldn't leave and yada, 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 right? So he does that. And it just shows how much he really does care for Robert and how much he cares for the people all around him. He obviously, captures Vizzy. We know what happens with Vizzy, right? You get the choice. Do you let her go? Do you let her help? Do you keep her there? Whatever. Most of the time, the right choice is definitely to let her go, but that's kind of beyond the point. Now, with that said, he's then goes out after capturing Vizzy. He's like, go get your suit, go get your mech, whatever, right? Go handle business. And he runs out there and he starts squabbing with villains. These are villains that have powers, by the way. And Roid is a big dude. You know, I mean, Roid, aka Steroid, roided out kind of, but you know, he's just really strong. He's not actually roided out or anything, but he starts squabbing with him. Bang, bang, knocking people out, throwing things around, just beating people. I mean, it's pretty crazy watching him do what he does. And he's boxing with the red ring. And eventually, Robert gets out there, right? Mecha Man gets out there. I almost called him Omni-Man. Don't know why, whatever. But Mecha Man gets out there and he's standing side by side Roid. And Roid's ready. He's ready to go. And he's standing side by side Roid. And they're facing off with Shroud himself. I mean, they're looking at Shroud. And yeah, they have that little moment where Shroud predicts what Robert's going to say. And they look at each other and they're like, oh, crap, I don't like that at all. And obviously, that whole moment is a pretty damn funny one. But eventually, after all of it is said and done, after all of it comes down to the end of it, Roid congratulates Robert, right? He's happy for him, and it's obvious that these two have really good camaraderie. And on top of that, Robert's like, dude, you could do this. Hey, you could be a hero. You could do this, but Roid's like, nah. That's all you guys. Like, that's you guys. Like, you guys are awesome. I can't be that awesome. But Roid, really, he really is that awesome. Even beyond the whole idea of him being peak friendship, my dude has hands. And if he wanted to be a full-fledged hero, he definitely could be. And shoot, Roid could even be potentially, like, I don't know, like the next Mecha Man or something like that. Or maybe have some sort of mecha-like suit for him. I think that would be pretty damn cool in my book. But at the end of the day, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about Roid being the peak of friendship in Dispatch. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And as I said, if you did enjoy this video, YouTube believes you'll enjoy this one, so might as well go check it out.